What's up, motherfuckers? Today I'm going to show us one of the most amazing game of the tiebreaks of the second one of the World Cup. So let's analyze the game. Uh, this opening, this opening idea. Okay, let's start with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and now Sarin came with the idea of d6 f5, who was employed by Fabiano Caruana against Hans Niemann in the World Cup with victory of Caruana with black. In the World Cup, sorry, no, in the Youth Championship, I analyzed that game. So Sarin decided to copy the Carbon idea with the 6 f5. It's so aggressive. The idea is play f4 and try to attack the white king. Kourkoulos came with d3, and now f4, f4, sorry, taking all the space in the inside. And now the idea is going to be to advance the kingside pawns and attack the white king if the white king goes or castle, or if not, doesn't matter. But black is going to advance the g pawn at the same way. So now Kourkoulos decide to stop this plan with h4. Very good idea. Instead of because here have no sense to go sword castle. This is a bad move because now black can push this pawns. So with the pawn on f4 is a very good attacker because now the center is closed. This bishop is not in the defense, and this pawn is a very good attacker. So for that reason, Kourkoulos plays h4, stopping g5. I really like this move. Queen f6 by Sarin. And now Kourkoulos decides to attack in the queen side. Okay, of course, the king side is for black, and black have full control of the king side. Nobody can argue anything against that. And he saw that breaking the center is not going to work because, okay, after d4, what you can do that later? D takes e5, and the center is going to still be closed. So he makes a correct plan here, attacking in the queen side. Before, very good move, knight a6, knight b2, knight g4, bishop b2. Like I told you, black is attacking in the king side, and white is going to attack in the queen side. Bishop d7, and now a4, still taking more space in the queen side. Bishop e2. Here he plays the queen on e2. Was better to place on or on b3, or just play d4. There are better moves. And he plays the queen on e2. 98 by Sarin because of course b5 is coming, so he made prophylaxis removing the knight. 98 d4, knight f7. Now okay, b5 was a little bit stronger, but okay, he played bishop b3, giving the c4 square for the knight. So completely logical, and yes, that's so logical move. And of course to this pawn. And Sarin finally decides to just to place the king in yes to play the king in the queen side, sorry, and goes long castle with the idea of yes, of try to advance this pawn, but the problem is that here, like I told them, black have the control of the king side and white have the control of the queen side. But what is the difference? That the black king side pawns are defended by the h pawn, so black cannot attack in the king side because thanks to the h4 pawn. And apart, the white king is not in the king side; the white king is in the center, so you can attack in the king side, but uh, every moment the white king can go to c1 or something. So it's not clear for black here to find a plan because in the center, white have more or less the control with this bishop, with this pawn. So black cannot break in the center. Black cannot attack in the king side, and white have the full control of the queen side. So the white positioning is so good. D4, knight f7, bishop b3, long castle b5, king b8, a5, bishop c8, and now a very good move, just breaking the position b6. Like I told you, white position is just winning because black have no plans, and let's see how far advanced is at this point. And the black pawn is still on g7 and h7. After f4, I told that the black plan is advance both pawns, the g and h pawn so far as possible. But after h4, very good move, and later his queenside attack, and now we see that white have his both pawns on the fifth rank, and black is still with these pawns on the second rank. So b6 and white is just winning because yes, he made an incredible queenside attack, sorry. c6, a6, and now let's see then. Two fucking pawns and black is still having h7 and g7 at home, so black have nothing in the position and white have two pawns in the sixth rank. So white is just winning. Rook d7. Here, okay, the machine prefer a little bit take on a7 and later play d5, but okay, d5 is a good move. A takes, bishop b7. Here, again, knight d5, a little bit stronger, but all the moves in this position is completely winning for Kourkoulos. He take on c6. Okay, again, knight d5 was stronger, but okay, queen a6 was fine. Rook c8. And now he doesn't understand well the position because he played bishop e5. Of course, he's still winning, but was stronger to play queen e2. Just attacking this knight and black have no good way to defend the knight. Example, if he goes to h6, the knight is completely misplayed there, and now bishop d6 is the other threat of the position, of course. Now white is threatening the knight and enter on e6, attacking the two rooks. And if d5, just take here. So queen e2 is a very good move because he's attacking the f7 knight, but apart he's coming with bishop e6 and taking a exchange. So okay, bishop d5 play by Kourkoulos, bishop takes, e takes, and now the position is winning. Of course, queen e4 was stronger, but bishop d5 is still winning because just this king is so weak. Sorry, so weak. So king c7, trying to escape with the king. Very good technical, very good idea of Sarin. Try to leave the queen side and go to the king side to a safer place. Knight c4, rook b8. And here, all the time, Kourkoulos have this strong move, entering with the knight on e6. Looks so natural. As some moves ago, the same. 95 here or 95 here looks so natural. But okay, now looks fine. For example, if black takes, here comes the idea of queen here and queen a4. But okay, of course, this is not easy to find. This is a very strong idea, but now this knight is under attack, and white is coming with queen c6, knight d5, rook a8 with a winning position. So this piece sacrifice is very strong. But okay, queen e7, rook here, and here he can make the same with queen e4, and later came with knight d5, and the queen is entered on c6. The problem is that he made that, but with the rook on the 8, who can look better because now it looks like the way of the black king to go to the queen side is defended by the queen, thanks to provoke rook d8. But now black have b5 and king d7, finally going to the queen side. At least white take a rook, but okay, black take the knight and they are counterplay for the exchange. Rook a7 here could be the winning move, but after queen c6 and take the pawn, always when useful, I explain that in many videos, and apart in my games, I fail making that a lot because okay, the humans and the masters, we used to go for the material, and chess player we used to go to take pawns. We saw a pawn and we want to go for the pawn, but was stronger. We used to be stronger, yes, to activate the pieces instead of take a fucking pawn. So rook a7, placing active the pieces was the good way. Queen c6 to take a pawn is the bad way. Okay, queen c4, queen g6, h5, queen. Now the games turn more or less equal. Because, okay, white have a exchange up, but the rook is not playing, the central pawns are strong, the knight are fine on e4, the pawn one day can go to e4. This bishop here is bad play, so there are some counter play for the exchange. Knight e2, here knight g5 was stronger, just activating the knight. The problem of the move queen c2 is that after bishop c1, by the way, knight f6, this is playable, f3. But now I don't like so much the Sarin idea because you have the queen active, you have the knight active, the bishop is okay, it's fine on e7, but this knight have a clear good square who is g5. It's completely clear that the knight should go to g5. So I prefer to when you have a piece bad places on a7, just choose the correct square, and later if you want you can king to c2, but first place the knight on g5. I think that is better. Okay, queen c2, bishop c1, knight f6, f3, and here Sarin made yes, his decisive mistake of the game. Looks like a natural move, but the problem of e4 played by Sarin is that after queen d3 and c4, white managed to trade queens and reach a completely winning ending with a exchange up. Here was stronger, or just return on f5 because the queen is bad place there, or finally plays knight g5, activating the knight. So, because after e4, queen b3 and c4 here, white is just winning. I want to show us more or less fast the rest of the game, but the rest is more or less easy for Kourkoulos, who managed to eliminate Nihal Sarin. So, okay, it's not the top favorite, but Sarin is one of the, yes, it could be one of the candidates to win the tournament. So, a very great win of Kourkoulos, eliminating a player who has 100 more points of rating than him. So, congratulations to Kourkoulos, and Okay, I want to show us more or less fast how what again his plan because after f4 I think that is so important to show what he do with h4 fixing the black pawns and later advancing his own pawns and yes, just attacking the black king in a very good way. So okay, congratulations to Kourkoulos and let's see how he do in the following rounds. Bye bye, motherfuckers.